We're getting a lot of questions on assumable loans these days, and with good reason. With the low rates that some of the loans that originated 2 or 3 years ago have compared to the higher rates now, it makes really good sense if you can assume that loan that has that lower rate and hence lower mortgage payment with it. But it does come with its own set of challenges, and I wanted to make sure you're aware of that. There is no loan officer involved with you when you're assuming the loan because it's the servicer of the current loan and they are the lender that's going to approve of the buyer. So you're not going to get a pre-approval letter from a loan officer right now that says that the buyer is approved to purchase the home. And the servicer has an assumption package. So step one as a seller, you're going to talk to the servicer, get their assumption package, provide that to the buyer. The buyer is going to fill that out, and then the buyer has to qualify for the loan, which means they're going to give the regular documentation to the servicer, who's also a lender, to make sure they qualify for the loan. So that's income documents, that's credit, that's assets, all of the things that we use to qualify people for mortgages. The seller is going to see those documents because the seller is in between the servicer typically. And then the seller is basically going to act as a processor there because they have to gather the documentation and give it to the seller. These things take a while with servicers. You can anticipate a closing of 2 to 3 months, potentially longer, and there is no guarantee on that, so keep that in mind. Some of these are for sale by owners. That means the seller is going to have to open escrow and do the stuff that we typically do or what the real estate agent does. Lastly, if it's a VA loan that you're assuming, there is no guarantee that the seller who's going to have their VA entitlement restored when the new buyer assumes that loan. It's really up to the servicer. Even if the buyer is a VA buyer, you don't know that the VA eligibility for the seller is going to get restored on that loan, hence allowing them to buy more property in the future. Keep in mind those things if you're doing it. It can be a great benefit because of the low interest rate, but there is a process that you need to go through, and I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that.